Hey legends, and welcome back to the channel where we're beating a dead horse. To those who've been absent from the sim racing scene for the last few weeks, the talk of the town, with the exception of the announcement of Gran Turismo 7, was the release trailer for Project Cars 3 and its, somewhat unexpected gameplay footage.
5, don't stop pushing, let's catch the leaders. Final lap, try and take that position.
A couple of you guys have been asking me to comment on some of the recent, somewhat questionable developments regarding this game shared in a recent SMS developer blog. Because we aim to please here, I stuck a pin in that idea and scheduled it for casually late, while we instead used our time more productively to talk about the actual positive happenings in the sim racing sphere, such as the full release of Automobilista 2 and the very awesome new content coming out for R-Factor 2. Now we can turn back to the sour tasting news. Anybody that's seen the release trailer and gameplay footage for Project Cars 3 and has even a modicum of ability to read between lines will know that this game is not aiming to be a driving simulator. It's instead aiming to go toe-to-toe with the Gran Turismos and Forzas of this world. Except that it isn't even doing that. Allow me to explain. They're removing tyre temperatures, tyre wear, and fuel usage. Let me repeat. They're removing tyre temperatures, tyre wear, and fuel usage in a racing game. The same discipline that's all about tyre management. The discipline where tyre strategy wins or loses races. The game will allegedly continue to use their quote-unquote revolutionary seater tyre model, except in a nerfed form that doesn't require any kind of race strategy based around tyre conservation, compound choice, and just to cap it off, no need to pit stop at all because fuel usage won't be a thing. Did I mention that they're also removing pit stops entirely? Here's a direct quote. By removing tyre wear and fuel usage, we could in turn remove pit stops, which resulted in much closer and more consistent racing. Thus, the whole process of getting to the part that matters most, the actual racing and driving of these amazing cars and their upgrades, became a far easier and more streamlined affair. All these game design decisions have had great results in terms of the racing. With the tyres at their optimal range all the time and fuel at optimal load, there is no break in the action to stop for more fuel or new rubber. It's pure racing action, and it's just made Project Cars 3 into a much better racing driver experience. This is a bit like creating a soccer game and saying, by removing fouls and penalties, we could in turn remove rules from the game entirely, which results in much closer and more exciting soccer. Thus, the whole process of getting to the part that matters most, the pointless kicking of a ball from one end of the pitch to the other, became a far easier and more streamlined affair. Taking bets now, and you can timestamp this, that they're going to release tyre wear, fuel usage, and pit stops either as an additional DLC or update after the game's initial release, after they realize that, yes, motorsports fans actually prefer it if motorsport is somewhat accurately rendered in a game that they just bought. So we've gone from Project Cars, which stands for Community Assisted Racing Simulator, aiming to be and being hyped up to be one of the most revolutionary hardcore racing sims with all the marketing BS that goes along with it, spouted directly by the CEO, to seeing it in its third iteration aim for a tier of simulation even lower than Gran Turismo. GT has had tyre temps, wear, and pit stops for well over a decade now. This is how low the hanging fruit SMS are aiming to grab is. Now, it's clear that this game isn't being made for many of us. That in itself is completely fine. There's nothing intrinsically wrong with an arcade racing game. However, the part that continues to sting here is their insistence on playing both sides and subverting community expectations. The original game was crowdfunded by the hardcore racing community under the premise that it would be an actual driving simulator. Yet, 2 games in and it never fully lived up to its own ambitions. Project Cars 2 could barely be considered a complete game. It was an ode to the mantra of quantity over quality. Come Project Cars 3, instead of attempting to finally provide what was promised, SMS instead decided to go for the lower hanging fruit of casual racing fans. Now, this would be completely fine if the game didn't share the name of Project Cars, relying on the clout bankrolled and built by the hardcore sim racing community. Yet, instead, it's Project Cars 3, trading on the same name which so bitterly underwhelmed the people who financed the series. Apparently it's not enough to just sell the series out, but we also get to hear about how the underlying physics engine is better than ever, directly from the CEO. Project Cars 3 is a game changer. All of the sim you could want with all of the fun you could want. Handling is massively improved, input on pads is transformed, and force feedback is amazing. The career mode is massively involved. I hope you all enjoy. We're proud here. No tyre temperatures, no tyre wear, no fuel load, and no pit stops. That is apparently part of all the sim we could want. Surely even casual fans are insulted by this on some level. You're taking literally half the strategy out of the sport, then touting it as something better than it was. What even? Anyhow, this was just a short one to keep you apprised of the situation. At present, the game is set for a release date of August 28th. Far be it for me to tell you what to do with your own money, but it's fair to say that I'll be giving this one a miss. Though in all fairness, I highly doubt they care whether they get my money or yours, because I have a wealth of new low-hanging fruit to pick from. Be sure to smash that sub to stay up to date with all the latest news regarding the slow motion train wreck and other actual sim racing related news. Until next time, we'll see you later.